When I think about the voices in my head and the characters that I play, there's one that really sticks out, and I call him Skittles. Now, Skittles was born in a time of my life when I was addicted to drugs. Skittles was born in a time of my life where I was pretty damn lonely. And so I found myself eating a lot of Skittles. This is why we call this character from this period of my life Skittles. So Skittles was a kid who would come home from school high as fuck and barely speak to his mum, find ways to waste the evening, whether it's watching YouTube videos, going outside with his mates and smoking some more, or literally sitting down and smashing through the snack cupboard. Now, this led to a big issue in my life where I'd almost start to eat as punishment, and it gave birth to my binging era. This character, Skittles, led me down a path which I hope to never go down again, and I hope none of you have to. But if you're someone who struggles with binge eating, then listen to me. Skittles would eat as a punishment. Let's focus on the actual sweet Skittles. I'd buy multiple packs of different flavors and I'd gnaw them. I wouldn't bite, I'd be gnawing like an animal. Think of a hyena feasting on a dead buffalo. Think how gory it is, how gritty it is. That's almost how I was when I was binge eating. When Skittles was shoving multiple packets of sweets in his face, it was to inflict pain on me. I didn't want to feel good. Like 1 or 2 Skittles and it's, this is really nice. No, I'm talking 4 or 5 packets, one after another, and then you're slamming a full fat Coke. And in between, you're hitting a vape, you've gone out for a cigarette. I was trying to hurt myself without knowing it. I was masking it, saying, oh, I'm just having sweets, I'm enjoying the evening. But no, this was pain. This was self-inflicted pain. I wasn't happy with my life at that point. I wasn't happy that I was wasting so much time getting high. I wasn't happy that I was stuck in school and I couldn't pursue my dreams. I wasn't happy with many things. And so I decided to just stuff my face with food. And it starts really slow. It initially starts with kind of the learned behavior you get from your parents. I want you to think of the time when you got in trouble and you're crying and you're saying, Mom, Dad shouted at me, and your mum goes, oh, it's all right. Yeah, and she gives you a kiss. Here, have this chocolate bar. And you wipe your tears. Thank you, Mum, and you eat your chocolate bun. Actually, now I feel all right. Well, Mum just gave me a kiss. She gave me a chocolate. I feel okay. The issue is now your brain has started to associate eating with a solution to your pain. See, food is fuel. Eating is meant to satisfy your body's call for hunger, right? It's to give you nutrition and energy throughout the day. It's fuel. But if we now use food as a coping mechanism, especially to your pain, we set ourselves up for a really slippery path. And so if this sounds like you, I want you to think about, when is it you binge? When is it you snack? Now, if you're anything like me, it's when the lights go off. It's when the house is silent and it's you alone with your thoughts. You don't want to be alone with your thoughts. You don't really want to recognize what's going wrong in life. So you're kind of bored and I stand up a little bit because I don't want to think, right? And now, slowly, my body's kind of walking towards the pantry cupboard, the snack cupboard, the biscuit tin. Habitually and instinctively, I'm just opening the fridge and looking. I'm bored, right? I'm not actually hungry. I'm doing it out of habit. I'm doing it out of learned behavior. This is what you need to pinpoint and nip in the bud, okay? Because you will continue this loop of eating and falling into this habit of binge eating for as long as you can't identify when you're eating, not out of hunger, but eating out of repetition, eating out of habit, and eating out of discomfort, eating to put yourself through pain, eating to distract yourself from the things that are going on in your mind. So every time you're about to eat something, ask yourself, am I hungry? Now, you're going to find it difficult to do at first, but it's a trained behavior. Much like how your mum trained you when you cried and she gave you the chocolate, and now your brain, after years and years of going through that experience, has learned that, oh, if I have a chocolate, I feel happy when I'm sad. Well, you must train yourself. Before every bite, I must ask myself, what is this for? Marcus Aurelius says, ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary? And we can use this. Before every bite, we say, am I hungry or am I eating out of habit? Am I hungry or am I eating because I'm bored? Am I hungry or should I really just go sleep? But it's late at night, no one's awake, and I don't really want to go sleep because I feel like I don't have control over my life. And these hours where it's quiet, fuck it, I'm just going to shove my face with food. Because why not? I can do it. If I want to have 5 fucking Skittle packets, I can do it. And so I do it and I just shove my face with it. But the issue is I'd wake up every single time and regret it. Now, if you're someone who binges, you never finish a binge and wake up the next day all happy about yourself. No, every single time you regret it. Every single time. There's not a single binge eater who smashes through his calories and ends that night in happiness. No, you end it every single time with disgust. See, it's that same disgusting feeling that you almost enjoy, you little sicko. I know this because I was him. I still am, to some extent. Skittles enjoyed the pain. He took something as delightful as a Skittles packet and made it into something of pain. My gums were almost bleeding. I'd go through the packet. I'd eat to the point where I'm bloated, I'm burping. My body is giving me signals to say, you are gasping for air. The body burping. Give us some fucking room. And I'm saying, no, let's have a cigarette and have another. Almost a treadmill. It's never ending. This binge. The only way you snap out of it is when you finally feel disgusting. See, a binge is a self-sabotaging spiral mindset thing. Binging, when you binge, you want to punish yourself. And you won't stop binge eating until you feel like I've done enough damage. Until you feel disgusting in yourself. Let's sit with that for a moment. You must eat until you find yourself disgusted. Why do we do that? It's because you don't push yourself. It's because you know that if you applied the same tenacity anywhere else to self-inflict pain, you'd actually have progress. But you're afraid. You're afraid of committing. That's it. Because if you committed the same way to putting yourself through pain, to giving yourself into that moment of disgust, into that moment of embarrassment, then you wouldn't be so afraid to learn that new skill. You'd just waste hours and hours on learning. And yeah, you'd be embarrassed. And yeah, you might be disgusted in yourself that, oh, I'm so stupid. But you'd still get progress on the other side of that pain. See, this self-inflicted pain that Skittles was putting me through, eating and eating, I was just gaining weight. There was no progress at the end of it. Now, once I was able to flip the shift and say, no, any self-inflicted pain that I put myself through is for my betterment, well, I'll put myself through self-inflicted pain when I go to the gym. But that self-inflicted pain actually makes me better. See, the self-inflicted pain that I put myself when I'm on 4 hours sleep and I go into the cold shower and I say, no, this is a mental win you must give yourself, and I'm freezing in the shower, that's still self-inflicted pain in which I get progress at the end of. See, binge eating, you've got the first part right. You put yourself through pain. It's just the second part of the formula. You put yourself through pain to degrade yourself when you could be putting yourself through pain to elevate yourself. This is a really touchy subject for me because I was a former fat kid. I was a skinny kid. I was skinny fat. I've been lean. I've gone through so many body types, and one that I battle even to this day is this overeating, overindulgence, binge eating element. Now, I've gotten so much better, but boys, it really comes down to the essence of what I mentioned earlier. Is you love to put yourself through pain, but you're not ready to accept the pain that would push you. You'd rather the comfortable hell than the unfamiliar heaven. That's madness, right? You'd rather be in pain and sit in the suffering that at least, well, it's my suffering. It's chocolate and sweets. I'm comfortable with that, even though you know it's bad. Versus the unfamiliar heaven. Yes, the gym will hurt. Yes, repetitive meal preps are boring, but it's heaven at the other side, brother. You're going to get into the best shape of your life, and I can't even explain the endless benefits that come with a good physique and living healthy, having a healthy, nutritious diet. So I hope this helped even just one person cut down on their binge eating habits. Boys, I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.